All right, happy Friday, everyone. It is Friday and your favorite time of the day because we have a release team meeting for 119. Yes. It is a Kubernetes meeting as well. So we abide by the Kubernetes Code of Conduct, which simplifies to please be excellent to one another. I think we will have an action-packed agenda update this week. Let's get things kicked off with Navroon on enhancements.
Navroon mentioned that he wouldn't be able to be here today, but the sheet should be up to date.
Awesome. I'll go through his.
Yeah.
I can go through his updates. Looks like for enhancements, we are green, still tracking 33 items, 8 alpha, 15 beta, 10 stable. There's one exception request under review. I believe that I'm aware of that one. And there is a link in the agenda to that. So we are good on that front. Any questions for enhancements or Navroon, we can leave them a note. We can reach out to that team afterwards. Excellent. Let's move on to CI Signal with Dan.
Hey folks, happy Friday. Couple updates. Integration master is back green. If you remember from Wednesday, basically some config changes enabled some jobs running that we weren't running before and they were not passing. Since it wasn't a loss in coverage, we just went ahead and disabled those, but we're tracking getting those back enabled. Other major event is that the cluster API AWS conformance job is back and running and is green. So shout out to the folks over there who did some great work. We are red. Master blocking has one failing job. That being said, there is a PR open to fix it. It's a pretty significant change, so there's a lot of discussion happening on it. But in general, we know what the issue is. And it's obviously only happening on the IPv6 flavor of stuff. So it's not a huge issue, but we're hoping to get that in soon and then we'll see all green. Another thing to note is GC device plugin GPU master started failing this morning. I mean, it'll probably report failing by the end of the day after it runs a few more times. Looks like there was a change there. So we'll look into getting that fixed up. Master informing now that the cluster API job is passing. It's mostly just the Windows jobs, and then the node kubelet features is showing failing, but it's basically just its normal level of flakiness. Other thing to note, we had a kube cross image push job yesterday, so these only run obviously when new images are pushed, and it failed, but that was expected and has been observed. On 1.19, it's pretty much the exact same thing as master blocking, as we're still doing fast forwards there. And it is reporting the scalability test failing, but that was just consecutive flicks as well this morning. So overall looking pretty good. Hopefully we'll have an update next week that is not red. So
thank you so much, Dan. Any questions for CI Signal or for Dan? Yeah, red is actually my favorite color, just not when it comes to tests. So yeah, also hoping we pull it in for the green next week. Awesome. Let's move on to bug triage with Vlad.
Hey, happy Friday. We are yellow, down 10 issues, pretty much continue chasing people on the existing issues and remaining PRs. Apparently we're gonna see a couple of exceptions, at least from the discussions on the PRs. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Vlad. Any questions for bug triage or Vlad? Great. Let's move on to docs with Savitha.
Hey, hope everyone's doing well. Yesterday was the final deadline for docs to get all the PRs ready for review and in a state to March. Reviewed and in a state of March. So we were red and we are yellow. We are progressing towards green. We have 3 outstanding PRs. Two of that is being tracked as a part of enhancements. One of it's like outside the enhancements tracking, but it just complements to the feature that goes inside, goes into 1.19. The first one, we haven't heard back, and I know Taylor reached out and the SIGDocs chair reached out. So I marked this late because we haven't heard back. And the second one's just waiting on a tech LGTM, and I see it's very active and happening. So I'll reach out to Joe and see if I could get that merged today or tomorrow. And the third one is it will be merged early next week. I touch base with Dan today morning, and it's no risk. So I'm hoping that's going to be done. It's not going to affect the release. So, and the branch, Dev branch is not happy. It has so many merge conflicts because I ended up merging like a lot of them in the last 2 days. So I will fix them over the weekend or Monday. It's Friday, so I don't want to touch anything. But still, this is harmless, so I'll get that one going, and probably I'll see if my shadows are available, and so that we could just do a live session if possible. That's all from me. Any questions?
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's always fun getting into the 11th hour and knocking out those PRs. Yeah, merge conflicts. Yeah, it's it makes for a good Friday when you don't have to deal with detangling those. I absolutely agree. Can't agree more. It's Happy Friday, right? Okay, good. Just want to make sure.
It's Happy Friday. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Let's go over to release notes with Adolfo.
Hi everyone, and Sunday once again. Happy Friday. So we're green. We merged the last PRs for RC1 earlier this week, and we're in the early phases of contacting the SIGs to get the sentiment, and but things are rolling pretty good.
Fantastic. Thanks, Adolfo, and thanks for answering that bike question on Twitter. It's fantastic. Any questions for release notes or Adolfo? Wonderful. Moving over to comms, let's go to Max.
Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. We had to roll some of the major themes for the release block, as we talked about it on Monday, that some of the enhancements will not make it into the 119. We also need to exchange some of the topics we want to highlight it. But we're still good to go, so we could cover or reach the target of having 5 major themes here. And we also in the communication with the CNCF to get all the community updates, which looks like will be hopefully quite long list this time. So let's see how long the release block will be. Maybe it's a small book.
I know that I owe you a few things on that as well, Max. So your comments in that Google Sheet, and I'll be getting those either today or tomorrow on that.
Perfect.
Front. Yeah, I know that guy, so I can talk to him and make sure that he gets that cleared up. Cool. Thank you very much, Max. Any comments, questions, or questions for Max? Wonderful. Release branch management. I didn't see Carlos on the call. I think everything is going pretty well there. I know there was a release cut earlier this week. Saw some chatter, but nothing out of the normal. Is anyone on from release branch management that wants to talk to anything on that front, or are we all good there?
I think the releases were pretty seamless. There was an issue with, I think, the a fast forward on the release management side. There was just a bug that had to be corrected. So I think there's a manual fix that went in for that yesterday. But it sounds like we're working around it well. I think it has to do with the modified release schedule for this cycle. So I think it's all taken care of now.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dan. Wonderful, wonderful. Tim is not on the call this morning, and so I'll jump into my update. I had quite a few things looking at the calendar. So our next immediate deadline is going to be code thaw on July 21st, Tuesday. Then after that, we have a little bit of a break in terms of milestones, but by no means any less work. Monday, August 3rd, our burn down meetings start daily. Definitely, I do want to keep that dialogue open with all of you. If y'all think it makes sense to just keep Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because we will be leading up to KubeCon and that break I think that'll make sense to kind of have burn downs and then, you know, take those times and weeks off and then jump back into everything full force as we round out this release. But, you know, open dialogue there, we can talk more on that front. Definitely want to get a sense of how everyone's feeling on that front. And then 2 milestones on August 6th, Thursday. That is cherry pick deadline, end of day Pacific, and test freeze, end of day Pacific. So lots of fun milestones coming up. Again, we're drawing very close to the end of the release, and it is exciting to see. I know that Dan spoke to the scalability jobs flaking, and the SIG scalability update has not been updated since 7.13. At that point in time, all of those jobs are looking all right. And then moving into open discussion. I did want to stop for a moment and just say thank you so much to everyone. I know this has been a crazy hurdle. Y'all have had to deal with more, you know, left turns and just deviations and a lot more wildness than any other release that I've seen. I've worked on a few releases starting on 1.14. I've never seen anything as wild as we have seen here. So give yourselves a pat on the back. I'm proud of you. You should be proud of you. I know that things slip, deadlines change, and y'all have really just, you know, been open to working with that and making this happen. So Kubernetes happens because of you, truly. And it is just incredible to see everybody come together and work through all of this. So, you know, forgive my sappiness on a Friday. I'm just really proud of this team and happy with all the work that y'all do. And it just gives me a lot of hope, makes me really happy, and truly puts the happy in front of my Friday. So thank you very much on that front. Yeah. Absolutely. Any other discussion items, or I can give you 47 minutes back in your day. All right. Have a wonderful Friday, everyone. Have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Thanks, everybody.
Take care, all.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.